Hey there, crypto dads enthusiasts. Welcome back to another electrifying episode on Dad's Gone Crypto. I'm Crypto Dad Sean, and today I've got my partner in crime, the legendary Crypto Dad Ryan himself. Hello, Ryan.
Hey everybody, hey Sean. Great to be back. So let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about today.
Oh boy, we do. Now, the market might look a little bit like it's taking a nap. A lot of bad sentiments in the market, a lot of negativity. But we're going to wake up, all right? We're going to wake up this market because we feel as Dad's Gone Crypto, as much as it's doom and gloom, follow any Telegram chat, my goodness, you're going to put you on suicide watch, right? But, we got some bullish reasons why. We thought back, like, why are we in this? What are we doing? And this is only a point in time. And Ryan's going to share with you a psychology map on where are we right now. And then we're going to end off with 10 reasons why we are bullish about crypto. And these are important reasons because that sets the trend for this bull market moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about it a little bit right before the show here, but the market sentiment right now, everybody is just so beat up, aren't they? Like
Yeah.
it's just toxic out there. All the chats, every chat I'm in is when TGE, you're scammers, blah 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 blah. It's like everybody has just lost their damn minds
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
so I'm like, guys, we're in a bull market, yeah, we're down a little bit, but this is the way the bull market goes. We're up and down, and then we get that crescendo. I keep trying to tell everybody, you don't want that crescendo too soon, because if it happens too soon, it's just going to be short-lived and be out, right?
Yeah.
So it's better that we've got these little ebbs and flows and ups and downs. And quite honestly, this is exactly the way each of these cycles has gone. I mean, it's been this pretty much the same thing. And if you actually look, so I'm sure everybody's seen this picture before, at least most of our audience probably has. And this isn't just about crypto. This image here is the Wall Street cheat sheet. This has been out for a long time, and it just talks about the market cycles and the psychology of the market cycles. People get into these periods where they've got so much euphoria, and then it just drops off, right? And you can have a lot of these, a lot of small little cycles like this within a cycle. But if you look at this image here, this is kind of the entire crypto market, the entire bull market, the bear market being out here somewhere, coming into the bull market and rising up through that giant crescendo we were just talking about. And then of course the downturn, right? But I think people just don't understand where we're at right now. And it was the same thing, 4 years ago. We got to this point in the cycle. We got really down. Everybody's just toxic. Everybody's super upset, thinking that it's all over. And then we shot up. This image over here is our current market cycle. It's where we're at, right? This is where we are today. So if you just take a peek at this, look at how this is shaped,
Ryan,
right?
where exactly are we? Because I can't really see on this. So this graph here looks exactly like this graph. Does it mean we're coming down? Or
Well,
if you don't mind pointing on the screen here, where are we exactly on this market?
yeah,
There's your cursor.
absolutely. So, and I did this on purpose just to show, some people are going to think, some
You're
people are going
making
to
me
look at this
negative
and
here,
go,
Ryan.
yeah,
I'm
right.
worried. I'm
So,
worried.
exactly. So here's the thing though. People zoom in like this and they think, oh my God, like, look we're right at the top. And just like we are here, we're right at the top. We're about to crash. Oh no, 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 no. if you were to zoom in on this image, this psychology chart, what we've got here looks a whole lot more like this area way down here,
Oh,
this
that's
little blue
better.
area here.
That's much better. I feel more
Exactly.
bullish.
So you can see, watch this. So look at here. We have disbelief. That's way down here. In fact, it's even probably a little further off this map. But then if we come up and you see hope here, right? And that's what we had not too long ago. We had hope. we thought we were really
Opium.
moving into that bull
Yeah.
market, right?
Yeah.
And then of course the market slams us down right here,
Mm.
right? Just like it did right outside of hope. And then we spent some time out here. Oh no, things are down. But then look, woo, we flew up, right? and we got this nice, see on this chart here, this blue area, it shoots up, right? This is the same kind of thing. And of course they're not going to match exactly, I mean, this is just a general chart. But if you just look at the way this goes, look at what we did. We went up, right up here, and then we've come down. This has come down, right? Came down, then we went back up, then we came down hard. And if you look at this chart, you go up, you come down a little bit, go back up, and then come down hard. I'm making the argument here that we're right down here. I think we've hit, and again, don't take this as financial advice. This is just some idiot's opinion on YouTube. But in my opinion, I really feel like we've kind of bottomed out here. I feel like the toxicity in the market, I feel like everybody, the fear right now, if you look at the fear and greed index, which is another thing you can find online, it's off the charts. Everybody's super fearful right now. And that kind of tells me that I think we hit our little bottom here for this area of the chart, which would put us right here, right? So with that in mind, look at what we have ahead of us. We're going to have a little bit of slow. My opinion, we probably move up here through August. I think we've hit our low. I think we're going to start probably moving our way back up here, maybe through the end of August or so. September tends to slow down usually. So, maybe we cross and just kind of flatten out here again in September. And then October usually is a good month. And in my opinion, right here at the base of this optimism is probably where we're going to hit, somewhere in the range of late September, early October. And again, I'm not a guru. I do not have a crystal ball. These are just my idiotic opinions, but pretty educated opinion at this point. I kind of feel like we're here. So another thing we can do is go look at another chart. Let's go back into this chart. I brought this up, I don't know, it was probably a month ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point. We were talking about market cycle tops, kind of, where the market cycle tops, when we finally get to a new all-time high and that kind of thing. But that's not really what I want to talk about today.
And this is the Bitcoin chart.
Yeah. So this is the history of Bitcoin. I mean, this doesn't go that far back, just because I want to make a couple points here of where we're at. But if you look right here, here's where we are right now. It's Friday morning in my time. We're just under 58,000, right? This mark right here is the halving. You can see where we were, and this green line here was the previous all-time high. So what did we do? We came up, we broke our all-time high, came back down, bounced around a little bit, broke the all-time high, came back down. You see exactly what I'm saying here, right? And then this last time we broke the all-time high, we came back down, and this is where we are now. And again, I'm making the argument that this is kind of the low of this piece of the cycle here, and we're ready to make a move up. Now, if you look at this, if we go back to last cycle, back over here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here. So give me a second. And actually, I just want you to see that this little area right here is what I'm talking about. To me, this little area right here looks exactly like this little area right here that we're in now.
Seems so insignificant over there.
Exactly. It seems super insignificant, but look at what happened after it, right? So let's go zoom in here.
There's a little M over there.
Exactly. So now that we're zoomed in here, we could take a peek, and you can see in the last cycle, what did we do? We came up, we touched that all-time high, right? Came back down, we got back up over that all-time high. It's not exactly where we are right now, but it's pretty darn close to what we did last time, right? We came up, touched, came down, came up, touched, kind of bounced around off that all-time high. Then we made a higher low there, right, on the cycle, and then whoosh, the next time we broke that previous all-time high, we were off to the races, and look at where this took us, off to the races, right? Sure. So with that in mind, let's just cruise back over here and think about, look at here, right? We're just like we were last cycle. It's almost the exact same time of year too. We broke up, came down, bounced around, broke down, came up, bounced around, and look at it. like I said, I think right now we've just made that new low there. And I think we are ready to get off to the races. So if you think about that, where we were last cycle, when we crossed this all-time high again, I mean, I think we're off to the races. And you could see these are kind of the next areas where this market cycle might end. And if it follows last cycle, it's probably going to end out here somewhere. And there's an absolute ton of room for growth.
Where are those dates
So
that are somewhere out there? The blue and the
yeah,
orange?
so I mean, again, if we go by the last two market cycles, this date here is October of 2025. This date here is August of 2025. Somewhere in that neighborhood
Okay.
is kind of where we would end up. These are if we do some averages on where you break. I went over this whole thing in another video, so I'm not going to do it now. But in my opinion, this market cycle probably comes out here somewhere, and probably ends up way, 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 way up. I mean, we're talking in the couple $100,000 range, I would think. Again, this is just my opinion. I have no idea. But if you think about what that looks like, when we cross back over, it's off to the races, and it's a zoom again. And I think as soon as we cross over this line again, as soon as people realize this was that low and we get back over this mark and start moving again, I think all of a sudden all this toxicity goes away, and you start seeing happy people in the chats again. That fear and greed index starts flipping back to greed, and we're off to the races. And honestly, I mean, hey, what are we going to talk about now? We're going to talk about 10 bullish reasons. So it's not just looking at the charts, but there are some serious reasons to be bullish for this upcoming year. Basically, I mean, I honestly think we probably have a year of this left. I mean, could end earlier, but my opinion, I think we got a good year of this market that's about to really start popping off.
Exactly, Ryan. And the kicker here is we've got some of the biggest names backing some of the information we're about to present. Think Michael Saylor, think Raoul Powell, think Pomp. So trust us, this episode is going to be juicy. It should rekindle that fire, that flame inside, and also create a bit of calmness for, just saying chill, relax. It's going to happen. And we'll just have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Why don't we let's do it. Let's jump into those top 10 bullish reasons right now.
Perfect. So number one, institutional adoption. So we're going to go 10 bullish reasons. Just understand, we're not going to go into massive detail into it. We're just going to give you like the high level version of it. Institutional adoption. We've been talking about this for a couple of months, and it's growing. It's growing. Everybody's got the FOMO. The SEC's approved it, and that is off to the races because of that certain big institutions are now bullish on it. Now the smaller ones are starting to follow as well. So when the big boys like Michael Saylor from MicroStrategies keep stacking Bitcoin, it has to be a sign, right? I mean, the guy holds over 100,000 Bitcoins. Yes, over 100,000 Bitcoins, and he keeps buying each dip. So one of his important philosophies is, and you'll see it trending on socials at the moment, he says no billionaire, all right, has ever gotten to where they are. So just listen carefully. No billionaire has ever gotten to where they are as this billionaire based on diversification of their funds. All right, so they didn't take their money, broke it down into multiple little pieces, and then hopefully it hits. He says most of them have a single focus, right? And a single focus is they think about Bezos, Amazon, right? So think about Jack Ma from Alibaba, single focus. Michael Saylor has a Bitcoin focus. He has a single focus, right? Almost like a maxi focus, right? So he says that if you really wanted to become super rich one day, you have to have a single focus and build a system around that promotes that and supports that and streamlines that. So become single focused in your investments, and he says you might have a better outcome. That's basically his thesis.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thesis. I love that his single focus is on Bitcoin. So
Yeah.
even though, I mean, truly he's running a very large corporation, but but at the
Yeah.
same time, his focus is on Bitcoin. So yeah, absolutely love it. And I mean, institutions they're setting up their crypto game big time right now. We've seen massive inflows from companies like Tesla and Square. They're adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, and this means more stability and more legitimacy in the market. It's like when dad finally admits he loves your playlist. Validation.
Let's not forget Grayscale, the big dog, right? Also investing in a Bitcoin trust and a few others. So there's huge institutional backing. And that means we're playing a different game to the previous bull cycle because we have now institutional flow. We have not just retail money coming in. If the bull cycle created those massive highs just based on retail, because remember, companies couldn't get in, now companies are allowed to get in, institutions are allowed to get in. How big is this potential cycle going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely huge. um, but hey, before we
Huge.
get huge, it's huge.
Huge.
But hey, before we get into the number two bullish reason here, if you guys don't mind, please, go down there, click that like button, and click subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. It allows us to grow even further, which in turn allows us to get a lot more special guests on the show. So anyway, let's move on to reason number two. Regulatory clarity is improving. Here's where Raoul Powell comes in. He says that clearer regulations are the gateway to more investments. Think of it like finally getting the rules to monopoly after playing it wrong your whole life. That's what all these institutions have been looking for, some regulatory clarity. And yeah, they're starting to get it.
Yeah, and also on the regulation side of things, it allows for people now to build because they're working within the framework. They can spend their money wisely. Investments don't, they don't want to. People don't want to invest when regulation isn't there because they might be investing in a dead horse, right? So, with the regulation coming in, the institutional investors can come in and say, okay, I've got some money. Who's developing? Who's solving problems? How can I spend my money? So it's basically a push on effect. And this recent framework in the UK and the USA and Australia, in fact, there's a few countries in the world, it's just making it more transparent. The SEC is warming up to Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and now there's rumors of, if you watched the last episode, of Solana ETFs. They're already starting to file for that, which means those top three, all right, are starting to getting traction where institutions come in and invest, which then builds that ecosystem. So very exciting, but yeah, we're in the right frame.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regulations allows the big companies to come in. There's no more playing, hide and seek with the law and
Yeah,
being terrified that you're going to get that SEC letter.
yeah.
With clear regulations, the big money feels safe to dive into crypto, and I think that's what we're getting to right now.
Or Ryan, more like that card where you pick up, do not pass go, go straight to jail. We'll see you in a few years' time, right?
Right.
All right, guys, number three, the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade. Oh boy, this is a juicy one. So Ethereum 2.0 is coming, and it's like upgrading your dial-up connection to a fiber optic. We call dial-up because it is slow and it's expensive, but they are working on it, which is great. And Vitalik Buterin is going. He's saying that it's going to be faster, it's going to be cheaper, and it's going to be more secure. Those are the three main things which allows for greater adoption. Right now, Ethereum's on the back seat because there's better technologies out there that are innovating and making it cheaper, faster, more secure, and they have to do something about it if they want to keep the institutional investors investing in development of Ethereum. So they got to keep innovating, but we're looking forward to that 2.0.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that upgrade, it's like adding turbo boosters to the old minivan. You're not just cruising, you're flying. Yeah, Ethereum 2.0, it promises to reduce gas fees, improve transaction speeds with proof of stake. Honestly, it's so much better. And I mean, even the improvements they've already made have been so much better. Gas fees are down in Ethereum. People aren't afraid to do Ethereum transactions right now. It used to be it was 100 $120 if you wanted to transact on Ethereum, and right now the costs are way lower. I know as soon as we get flying in the bull market again, those costs are going to go up, but Ethereum 2.0 is going to help help bring that down and make them a little more competitive with some of these other chains that are so cheap for gas fees.
And dads, when Ryan mentions so much better, think about a 300-kilogram wife that likes to eat. And now she's about 150 kilograms. She's so much better. She's so much better, but not quite there yet. There's no playing catch. There's still a lot of motorized movements there. So when we get down to the slimming athletic feel, then Ethereum will be the place to be. Right now, we're hanging in. We're hanging in there. We're supporting.
Right.
We're not going to let her go. She's a gem. We love her. But there's room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. And also, don't forget, guys, they have a burning mechanism. Tongue in cheek over there. The EIP 1559, which also helps to reduce the supply. Less supply means more demand. And this is a recipe for price appreciation.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, getting into the number 4 reason, we just talked about it a little bit, right? And like I said, I did a whole show on the Bitcoin halving cycles, where we are in the cycle. Go back and check that one out, because I put a little bit of time into that one to kind of really show you where we're at. But you can find this information all over the place. Plan B, stock to flow model creator. If you watch some of his videos that are out there right now, he is super bullish, and with good reason. He says this could skyrocket prices, and it's just like a giant pay raise, but for your cryptocurrencies.
Right, and historically, the data backs it up. It's not perfect. You can't say it's going to follow exactly. If he can do that, he would be a multi-trillionaire. So it goes off the line, comes up the line, but generally, the stock to flow model has traditionally worked, and every halving has led to a bull run. Right, that's the thesis, and it's like clockwork. So we're assuming that because we've had the halving, it's going to be the lead up, as Ryan explained on those charts. We're expecting a bull run, and if you're thinking about this top 10 list, all right, that's what's coming to crypto. That's what's in crypto. That's the future of crypto. So there's potential. And then when you say potential, is the potential of a bull market? Well, possibly. So the last halving in 2020 saw Bitcoin price rise from $9,000 to $60,000. So what could that Bitcoin price be in the next bull market with all this institutional investment and money flowing in?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you gotta love the halving cycles, right? Who doesn't love more dollar signs? I mean, honestly, if you've got your money in Bitcoin, again, not financial advice, but I've seen this happen. But if you've got your money in Bitcoin, it's like getting a huge bonus. Every 4 years you're getting a giant pay raise. It's been a lot of fun for those of us that have currently been in Bitcoin for a few of these cycles.
Yeah, that's true. Number 5 is DeFi innovations. And we touched on this as well, is that now that the regulatory framework is there, it's not perfect, but it's there. Now people can jump in and say, all right, what problems can I solve? And is there a market for it? What decentralized DeFi, decentralized finance is broken in the traditional world, and how can I solve it, and how can I get adoption? So the idea is, how do I scale, and so forth. So pioneers like Andre Cronje from UN Finance is pushing that new innovation. There's a lot of things happening with his protocol, and the cool thing is that on each chain, right, there's a particular language that allows you to develop and a particular set of rules which you have to abide by. If you're on Cardano, if you're on Base, Ethereum, if you're on Solana, you want to build on those platforms, and you've got to find something that's within your skill set, and then you've got to find a problem, and you've got to solve that problem, and then decentralize that problem so that it goes out into the ether, and it basically, it's not controlled by one central authority. Simple example: you get arrested. what happens? You fill out a little form with pen and paper, and then all of a sudden, that paper can be manipulated when it goes to the next process office. You could have been, said that they could have said that you stole diamonds, right? You're like, no, I just got a traffic fine, but someone could write on there, and then now you got to prove this. If they capture that from a blockchain point of view, as they get in there, there's a blockchain ticket that it's recorded. The officer basically writes down what happened. It gets logged onto the blockchain. It cannot be deleted, right? There's another line that can be added to it, but it cannot be deleted. So now you're cleaning up that whole process moving forward, where they cannot manipulate those documents. So you're clearing up potential flaws in the legal system. Now, would they change the legal system to blockchain? I think we years away from that. But this is a simple example. Now, take that for the manufacturing industry with parts that are fraudulent, right? There's so many things that you can innovate, but that's where DeFi comes in. It's that exciting playing ground in the crypto space that you can take broken real world stuff and fix it using blockchain technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, hey, if you look at the total value locked in DeFi projects, I mean, it grows and grows and grows, just like my waistline has been for, the last 20 years or so. But I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars in value locked in protocols like Aave, Compound, MakerDAO. It's a clear sign people are interested, they're invested, and this space is not going away.
In a nutshell, innovation allows for flash loans, it allows for liquidity mining, it allows for yield farms, and this is all bringing in users and capital. It also allows you to take your capital, your Bitcoin, and basically collateralize it and get a loan against it, right? And you're paying off your loan and you got fresh money, right? So instead of paying your taxes, don't forget you must pay your taxes, but when you collateralize it, it becomes tax-free, provided that you have enough money to pay off your loans, all right? And that kind of offsets that tax part of it. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, getting into number 6, I know it hasn't been talked about a ton lately. You're not seeing it all over the place, but it's just like everything else. Everything's kind of in this little down period, right, where everybody's a little toxic about things. But the NFT and metaverse boom, it's honestly still going on. You got Gary Vee out there. He's all about his NFTs and the metaverse. And we're still seeing a lot of this. So I think it is worth mentioning that NFTs, metaverse, you still got people paying a whole lot of money for JPEGs, but it's not just for the JPEGs anymore. You're starting to see people. These projects are really spanning out. They understand people aren't necessarily going to pay, a few ETH for a picture anymore, right? Now they want utility with these projects, and we're starting to see that be developed with some of these new NFT projects that are coming out, and some of the old ones that were there. They're building their metaverses and NFT projects around utility now, rather than just profile pictures so much.
I think, Ryan, if you think about NFTs as when internet first came about, that first website, right? Cool. Just some words on a screen. You're like, cool, I got a website. It's so freaking cool. Woo. All right. And because there weren't many people out there, it was very valuable, right? But as time goes by, you're like, no, there's got to be more to the site than just words. And then it started to evolve. New technologies came in. There were flash. All of a sudden, things are flashing on your screen. You're like, what's happening? Yeah. Now we're moving to a more, Web3 version of the website, where you can do incredible things on the blockchain with your website. And you see how it's evolving. NFTs will evolve, right? That's the evolution, right? It's not going to die. It's here to stay. And so is the metaverse. The metaverse is very, that's why these big companies like Facebook have invested billions into this technology, including Apple, right? Is because they see that's where the future goes. But remember, the technology for the average user, for the average human being, has to catch up, and it has to be affordable, because it can't just be available to the few select that can afford it. So there's a bit of a lag. So you build this beautiful technology, but you might just be a few years in advance. So while the market catches up, you're innovating into that next space and making it available to them. So it's coming.
Yeah. Absolutely. And hey, it's way cooler than the Beanie Babies and all the crap that all the
Don't dare
crap
talk
people
about Beanie
collected
Babies like that.
before, right?
Let me block out my Beanie Babies. Shh, shh, shh.
Before, if you had the right Beanie Baby, you were
You were
something, right?
rich. You were rich.
Now, now it's Bored Ape Yacht Club, Crypto Punks. I mean, they're status symbols, so people still do use them as their PFPs. And honestly, though, they're way more than that. I mean, it's way more than the status symbol. You're in with that group, and there's tons of opportunities come from those kind of things, and that's kind of the great thing I think about NFT projects.
Yeah. Number 7, adoption of financial giants. Now, remember all the FUD that went when these big institutions, right? We're not going to name them, not going to name and shame them. We should. And like, oh, Bitcoin's going to hell. It's the devil's coin. Oh, if you invest in Bitcoin, and these are top intellectual people of these financial institutions that basically look after billions of dollars worth of people's money, right? And they're saying all these stupid things. Then the SEC comes out and says, Bitcoin good. You may go ahead. Now everybody's jumping on board. So it's crazy how that cycle turns. And it just shows that you can't deny innovation. You can't deny when the training is going, no matter how strong you are and you've been a bodybuilder in the gym, you can't stop that train. You have to get on or you have to stay off. It's one of those things. And now these financial giants are jumping on. So it's taking time, all right, but it's one after another, and they're each bringing their customer base. Why? Because their customers are demanding that I want a little bit of Bitcoin on my portfolio. Hey, broker, buy me some Bitcoin, put 10% of my salary to Bitcoin. Thank you very much. Love you. Bye. Right? They're
Right.
demanding it. If they don't, what are you going to do? Well, obviously, my broker is outdated, but the company that he supports is outdated. Let me just jump ship. Let me jump to the other guy, right? Because the other guy is crypto savvy and I want to invest. So instead of losing their clients, the train's moving, you jump on board, right? And that's why Kathy Word of ARK Investments, she's been pioneering some of the push of the crypto, and there's a whole host of guys jumping on. It's still early days, and this is why the adoption of giants through the framework and the SEC single-handedly is one of the most important things that can push money into crypto, and also very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're seeing some, retail financial giants like PayPal and
Yeah.
Square. We're seeing these guys integrating crypto. And, once that happens, it truly becomes mainstream because when your grandpa with a PayPal account all of a sudden can buy some Bitcoin easily right there in his PayPal account.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely huge. And then you've got companies like Square that do all the MasterCard and Visa processing for retail out there. And now all of a sudden, MasterCard, Visa, they're enabling crypto payments through these kind of companies. And it's huge. It's definitely not a fad. This is coming to everyday Americans, and everyday people across the world are very soon going to be able to purchase almost anything they want with crypto. You're starting to see some really big players show that they truly believe in Bitcoin, in crypto, and it's absolutely advancing at lightning speed. I think it's not long before we get a true crypto takeover of the financial industry in pretty much around the world.
So, Ryan, the layer 2 solutions and ZK rollups are making transactions faster and cheaper. So this blockchain is basically on steroids, such as Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, are all leading that particular charge. Then there's also layer 3 blockchains, which is the latest, craze coming out, which allows you to interact, example, with Twitter. We spoke about it in our last show. We call it blockchain links, or blinks for short, that allows you to scroll down into your Twitter page. Oh, you see an NFT, or let's say tickets to Katy Perry. All right, you can basically click on that. It takes you to a payment gateway, and so basically interacting in a safe manner with your browser, with the company that your social media browser per se. So very, very cool there.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, it's all about efficiency, right? I mean, the market is becoming more and more efficient with all these layer twos and apps, and also, interoperability between projects. One of the biggest problems in the crypto market has always been that if you're on this blockchain or that blockchain, you can't interact with each other. All right. So
Mm,
you get projects that, you've got a whole bunch of people that really can't talk to each other, but you've got projects like Polkadot and Cosmos that are out there connecting different blockchains. And there's a new one coming out, one of my absolute favorites, who I think is going to be huge in this, not only in bringing all blockchains together, but also bringing so much more retail in, and that's Supra.
mm.
It was Supra Oracles. Now they've rebranded just down to Supra because they are doing everything really. And I know they're getting ready to launch their wallet. I think coming into the next quarter, we're probably going to see them actually launch their mainnet. Supra is definitely one to watch because they are out there and they're going to be bringing pretty much all the blockchains together and letting them be interoperable, and that's absolutely huge for the space.
Okay, guys, before we get to number 9 on our list, we got 2 more to go. If you feel that you've got a bullish reasons to why you feel that the bull market is coming, please share your comments below. We'd love to interact with you guys. We reply to everybody. So yeah, please leave your comments below and don't forget to click that like and subscribe. All right, guys, number 9, global economic instability. So, what happened when there was a war? The war between Russia and Ukraine. What happened? All right, they started to use technologies, latest technologies to move money because everything was shut down. Russia shut down Ukraine, where they were bombing Ukraine. So there was a flow of money problem, right? So what did they use? They used Bitcoin. So Bitcoin became a good store of value for the guys that wanted to, push their money into their currency that's perhaps collapsing into a store of value because it's technically a world coin. So in times of instability, people want to move their assets. Now, if you got gold and tons of gold and someone's bombing your country, how do you move it? All right, you leave it behind, you bury it, and hopefully come back to it. But a bomb, will take it out, or someone takes over your property, you'll never get it back. So, can you see now why Bitcoin was invented? It's because how do I move all my gold? Well, you have a digital asset, you have digital gold. Now you can move it anywhere in the world within a few minutes. And that way you can at least, your wife's moved out to another country while you're fighting the war. At least you can send her some money to live. So many various factors. But global economy, global instability allows for this technology to be more adopted as a store of value.
Along with that is just with financial instability comes inflation, right? And I mean, so many countries are experiencing hyperinflation right now with their
Mm.
currencies just being decimated. I mean, people are looking for safe havens. Crypto shining bright in that regard. I mean, you got governments out there. I look at the U.S. government just printing money like there's no tomorrow, and Bitcoin is that digital gold. That digital gold you were just talking about. That's easy to move, easy to store, and continually goes up in value. If you look at the long run, uh, Bitcoin is the key for this.
And Ryan, unlike the US dollar, where you money go brrr and you can print as much as you want, Bitcoin only has a supply of 21 million coins. And it's this algorithm that keeps printing them, but we'll be long dead, and our kids will be long dead before the last Bitcoin is actually printed. So that 21 million means there's a definitive supply, which is great because you can't print more than that, which means the more you put in, the more the value goes up because there's a fixed base. Whereas when the US dollar was backed by gold, for every dollar you had a piece of gold, then it makes sense. You needed more space for that gold because you couldn't print more than the other. That was when they took away the gold. Now they started to print. Now you see where the problem had the hyperinflations and all of that. So that's why Bitcoin is starting to be adopted by these institutions worldwide to level the playing field a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, moving on to number 10, our last point here of why we should be super bullish here coming in. It's grassroots adoption and education. I mean, the general public is just becoming more educated about Bitcoin. Anthony Pompliano highlights the importance of grassroots education. It's like teaching your kid to ride a bike. Once they get it, they're unstoppable. And, that's the case with Bitcoin. We just got to be out there. We got to be educating all of our fellow citizens out there that don't yet know about the beauty of Bitcoin.
And Ryan, not just teaching someone how to ride a bicycle, but teaching someone how to get into crypto. And that's how Dad's Gone Crypto came about, is that, we in this space together, we've been doing it for some time, and we wanted other people to enjoy and learn and not get burnt like we did, learn from the lessons, our pain points, our losses, that they can learn and basically stand on the shoulders of us and then go forth and teach and learn and just create that community of learning. If we create a dad's community and a mom's, we're not segregating moms here. If we create a community of people that are looking out for each other, all right. And the minute there's, like, example, in our Telegram chat, the minute there's something that's scammy, you already have 2 or 3 people saying they're banned, auto ban. And that's before myself or Ryan can get into that chat, because we're different time zones. You've got a community looking after other guys, right? Or other guys and girls. So that's the power of educating people, and we will continue to release videos and continue to build the literacy and access to developing projects, and to bring you some of the greatest minds in the space. That's truly what we're here for as well.
Absolutely. And with that, folks, we wrap up our 10 reasons why we are bullish on crypto. Remember, guys, there is always a calm before the storm. And I think we are in that calm right now. We're just bouncing around here, and Bitcoin is just gathering up all the momentum for that storm that I think we are very, very, very close to hitting.
Yeah. And that's our top 10 list to keep that frown upside down and turn it into a smile. So, guys, always try to see crypto as that glass half full. All right, where you're more positive. It hurts. There's still some volume missing, but you see it in a different light. If you constantly see things in a negative, just get off social. All right, go and ride a bicycle. Go and drink a beer with your friends. Go out and just walk up a mountain. All right, but don't go into socials and cause negative FUD and cause havoc on the chats, because it's not worth it. It doesn't help anything. It's hard. It's hard to start projects. It's hard to get them up and running. So be part of the community of supporting, caring, and nurturing. There are shitty times, but there are also great times, right? And we soldier on. That's the most important thing. And on that note, it's time for Dad's Got Jokes, the segment of our show, which we absolutely love. Ryan, what have you got for us today?
All right. So a friend of mine the other day just told me that he made up this joke. I swear I've heard this joke before. He says he made it up. So I'm going to say it. And if any of you guys have any evidence out there that you've seen this joke somewhere else, let me know, because I need to bust his balls about it, because he swears up and down he made this up. But here we go. So how did the mechanic find out that he was psychic?
Don't know.
He had an auto body experience.
That's a very greasy joke. Okay.
That's a shout out to you, Scott.
Scotty. Nice one, Scotty. Nice one. All right. Right. I've been searching low and high. I've been looking for the understanding from people what LGBTQ means. I just haven't managed to get a straight answer.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm telling my kids that one as soon as we get off the air here. my kids are plenty old for that. They're in their 20s. So.
Okay, yeah. My odds. Daddy, what is LGBTQ? Go play. Go catch a ball.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right, guys, a big shout out to our community. Thank you very much. You guys are the real MVPs. We've we've almost reached 12,000 followers, and we couldn't have done it without you guys. And we keep pushing and we keep wanting to grow. And it's because of you guys that like our comments, like our content, like and subscribe and share with your friends. We really do appreciate it. And this is one of those moments where we just take some time out to thank you. We have a goal of 100,000. It's still some time to go. All right. My kids will only start really loving me as a YouTuber influencer, a small one, a baby one, a little, what do they call it, a little shrimp Bitcoin, if we get to 100,000. So we keep pushing. So guys, please, if you don't mind, like and subscribe, and can join us and chat. And yeah, share your questions. We'll be glad to engage.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, guys, if you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, drop them in the comments below, or join our Telegram chat and get in there. We love hearing from you guys. So stay bullish, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next episode of Dad's Gone Crypto.
Take care, everybody. And remember, the future is decentralized. We're in it together.
Catch you next time, crypto dads and moms out there. See you guys.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.